I'm Father Alexander Juma Ochumbo from ECUSTA, that's the Catholic University of St. Thomas Aquinas in Addis Ababa. But I come originally from Kenya. My home country, I worked, one of our Jesuits called Father D'Agostino opened a hospice for children affected with AIDS. And so for some of us living in Nairobi, we helped him by volunteering to work with the children and trying to help him in whatever way we can. And later on, that was 1992. And then in 1998, I was missioned to work with the children. So I helped them on the side of the finances and also the spiritual part. So I helped them with the masses on Sunday and some counseling when they needed it. Yeah. Yes, because most of them say that this is where they find there is greatest need, and this is where they think that God is asking them to serve people who are suffering with AIDS. There are those ones who are suffering, who are poor and suffering in different ways, but these particular ones, there are many who are not looked after as they should. So the sisters think that they can actually be able to offer something to these children, and not only to the children, to the adults as well. And the adults, there are programs in different parishes. So some go to the different parishes to get the help that they need. The government is always very appreciative of what the NGOs and the church does to help, because they know that they cannot be able to actually look after all those affected by AIDS, and whatever help that is given is appreciated, and especially the one from the church, because they know that the church does its work and does it well, and so they have tried that, yeah. One is it has affected the part of the population that is most productive, and that they have, especially in Kenya, and that has really affected the work or the employment, and secondly also for the families, especially for the children. It has affected children a lot, especially in the countryside, where you find that in some villages probably over 60 or 70% of the people have died, the parents. So the children are only left with their grandparents. And so there are a lot of programs actually trying to help the children who are in those situations. And I think that has affected people more, because sometimes they think of adults, but the children are the ones who suffer more. Yeah, because those who cannot be able to get help, then that's it, because they just stay home with their grandparents. But those ones who can, there are programs that actually try to help whenever they can, for those especially to go to school. It's the education part that they find important. If they can go to school and get some money for sustenance, so for their food, for their books, for their clothes, that is very helpful. As you know, it's next to impossible to get an answer or a solution to it, but only the research, to try to continue with the research and see whatever government to help in the research area, that either vaccine can be got or medicine can be got that can be able to eradicate the disease. Otherwise it continues to spread, and especially in parts of Africa where people cannot get the medicine, or even if they get the medicine, it might not be the right kind of medicine, or they'll react to it differently. And if they do not have any other options, because the options are very, very expensive. So it's very different from the developed world, where the governments are actually assisting. In our situations in parts of Africa, it's very difficult. Yes, but the rich, it's different, because the rich have the money and they are able to get the proper kinds of medicines. even they get them from abroad rather than from that. And I've had an experience of that because I helped some to get some of the medicines from abroad, and it cost a fortune. That's the time even others have not been able to get the medicine, but they were able to even if it's $1,000 per month, so they would get $1,000 per month and buy the medicines. But the poor, yeah, and some of those ones who did that, they're still alive. They kept on doing that, but now they're cheaper and they continue, and they're okay. So it's just the poor cannot afford, or even if they go to the hospital, they might not give them the real medicines. They can give them probably some that are brought that are cheaper, and then they keep the real medicines for themselves. So yeah, that's how it is.